Hey, it's Tpok. I am back in Katawa Shoujo. I have taken a long break just because of schoolwork and life. So yeah. Here we go. I notice I have this new picture, so we're gonna start Act 3 day by day. Good tiara song right there. I rest my chin on my hand as I absent-mindedly look out the window, yet another of Mattel's lectures droning on and on as if it were endless. The summer sky is almost alluring in its bright cerulean splendor. Only the odd passing cloud breaks up the deep blue expanse. This feeling of longing is probably the outdoors side of me yearning to escape. Nakai, could you answer this? That side of me is lost to the past now, though. In that case, I think it would use the ane suffix, because it's an alkane. Single bonds. Correct. Moving on. The suffix for... As my attention towards Mattel slips once again, I spot Misha giving me an enthusiastic thumbs up and nod at her to settle her down. It's been a handful of days since Lily's left for Scotland, days which have passed relatively peacefully. Life largely continued as usual in contrast to what I expected. While thoughts of her danced around on the edge of my mind since she left, present events managed to subdue them. At least for the time being. So I found myself idly chatting with Hanako as usual when lunchtime finally rolls by. Are the later ones in the series good as well? Not really. You're probably best off just sticking to the original. His later books didn't live up to it other than maybe God Emperor. Thanks. I wasn't really sure if... Oh, get out. I was talking to Hanako. As Hanako steps to the side, I see Shizune stride up in her typical business-like manner, flanked by her ever-present bright-haired shadow. Try as I might, I can't read any hint of their intent from their faces. Shizune's poker face and Misha's seemingly boundless cheerfulness are a devilish combination. Morning, Shizune. Misha? Now get away, because I'm trying to talk to Hanako. Hi. I accentuate the greeting with a nod to Shizune in order to get the point across. She promptly and curtly returns the gesture to both of us. It's been a long while since I've really talked to either one of them. For a while I thought they might be avoiding me, but I eventually came to the conclusion that Shizune really isn't the type to do so. Morning. Shi-chan says that Mattel wants to see you sometime. Because of this statement, my face contorts as if I'd just eaten spoiled food, giving Misha no end of amusement. Wahaha! Anyone think you'd were in trouble, Hi-chan. You may not be aware of it, but you have the least to worry about of anyone in the class. What an unexpected vote of confidence. Even Hanako nods hesitantly to affirm the point. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. There was something I wanted to ask you, though. And what might that be, Hi-chan? I have a feeling this won't go over well, but here goes. Is there any reason why you and Lily don't get along? It seems like even a little civility would help you both in your duties. And that was a bad idea. Shizune's cold stare after Misha happily signs the word stops me in my tracks. In hindsight, I really could have worded that better. Scooting away out of the corner of my eye, I'm sure I see Hanako move back, just a little. Thankfully, Shizune notices this and lets her temper dissipate as she forcefully runs her hand through her hair to let off steam. Perfectly on cue, Misha begins interpreting the second Shizune's arms begin to move. I would say that such matters aren't relevant to you, but since you seem to have befriended Lily... She pauses to adjust her glasses, evidently attempting to articulate her point in the best possible manner. While I assume the same of her, I cannot call my own views on the matter unbiased. Suffice to say, we were closer before than we are now. Shizune makes a quick gesture to Misha to stop her from interpreting, then has a quick meeting with her before proceeding. The fact that the two can communicate so easily yet so secretly right in front of us, is slightly disconcerting. Hanako seems to share my curiosity at the proceedings, looking on with thinly masked interest. As they finish their opaque conversation, Misha looks slightly deflated. I guess her opinion of the matter wasn't followed. Shi-chan says you should ask Lily about it, as she doesn't want to be the one that gets you involved. Oh well, I'll have to ask her after she gets back. At least I got some information out of Shizune. The two having been on close terms mean that they weren't always at each other's throats, or at least not quite to this extent. I understand. Thanks anyway. With a nod and a farewell, the two break away and walk out the door, no doubt headed straight for the student council room. Could have gone worse, I suppose. Hanako lets out a long breath, relieved at the confrontation's resolution. I can't say I blame her. I'll see you later then. Yeah, I'll meet you in the tea room. See ya. With that, she waves and joins the trickle of students leaving the classroom. Nakai, could I speak with you for a moment? Delivered in its typical monotone manner. He apparently decided that I need a reminder to see him already. Eventually I finish packing up my things. By the time I reach his desk, the classroom is close to empty. Yes, sir? He looks up, taking measure of my face before giving an awkward, rather obviously acted chuckle. No need to feel guilty, you're not in any trouble. I just wanted to ask you something I've asked a few of the other students so far. That's something at least. For a moment I thought my maxim of keeping my head down and pen up had failed me. So what did you want to talk about? To start with, what do you think of your progress in this class so far? Good? Bad? I detest that kind of question. For a fair amount of time I try to think of a response that is neither pathetically humble nor cocky. I'd say I'm doing okay, the work doesn't seem too hard, and I'm doing better on the test than I thought I would. That's a good answer, a correct one too. I give a mental sigh of relief at his satisfaction. To say that I don't gain a little pride from his comment would be a blatant lie. In the maelstrom of thoughts clouding my mind after learning that I'd be transferring to Yamaku, my school grade seemed utterly unimportant. Being entirely clueless to what skill level will be assumed of me once I actually got here, I was hugely relieved when I found out that I understood well enough the school work we'd be doing, except for English. I know your circumstance might have thrown a wrench in the works, but have you given any thought to your future? My future? What do you like to do as a profession? Do you have any thoughts of where you'd like to be in 10 or 20 years' time? I wouldn't be surprised if you covered this ground in your previous school, but I don't have any record of it you have. I suppose the last year of high school is the time when students would need to be thinking about such things. To be honest, I really haven't lent it much thought compared to my immediate situation. Catching on my thinking, Mitao speaks up. It's okay if you haven't decided on anything specific yet. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of your classmates were still undecided after all. Maybe pursue one of your talents. He's rather obviously trying to squeeze an answer out of me, and something about his previous wording makes me suspicious. He didn't seem to be intent on asking everyone like this, so he must have some kind of selection criteria. At a guess, our marks in his class. Well, something in science might be the path of least resistance. His face brightens, no doubt pleased at the thought of a prize student following his subject as a career path. That was the smallest change in facial expression ever. Good. Having a general idea is the first step. I would advise you to think on it, though. I will. Things are kinda settling down, which will help. Good to hear. Oh, and I've noticed that Ikazawa's attendance and marks have improved since you came to be friends. I'd like to thank you for that. I'm surprised you noticed we knew each other. He gives a chuckle and as awkward as his smile. This guy really has no idea how to properly act around others. Every facial movement seems like an act of a careful but misdirected choreography. You could say that having a general idea of who knows whom is part of a teacher's job. Catching himself before he goes off on a tangent, he loudly coughs into his hand. I'm sure you have things to do though, so I'll stop there. Please do not think about where you're headed from here, as you don't have long to go before you finish high school. Oh, please do think, not please don't think. I will, thanks. The brief talk ended, and I take my leave. He goes back to fussing with the teacher materials on his desk. This is one of the times I'm envious of Lily, almost maddeningly so. To have one's future so clear and so assured, yet working towards it from such a young age. It's an idea so utterly irreconcilable with my own thoughts, mired in the present day just as they've always been. What? Okay, I was like, am I not gonna go to Hanako? Guess not. I'm gonna sleep. New day. Hopefully. Let's go pick up Lily at the airport. How's that? Nope. Walking through the lobby to the cafeteria, I silently rued my daily routine, having been completely thrown off. It had seemed like a normal day. I arrived in class before most, due to waking early and having become quite adept at chucking down my pills without choking as I get ready for the day. But as students trickled in, one never materialized. Hanako. I step inside, my eyes scanning the expanse of the cafeteria in search of a suitable place to take a seat. It's a task made more difficult by the groups of students moving about and busily talking. Gah! A hand pounds my back a hard couple of times, severely winding me. I couldn't care less about the culprit as I focused my thoughts on my chest in a near-automatic reaction. My hand instinctively tightens on my breast, and I start going through the steps I rehearse in my mind every other day. Breathe steadily, in and out. With a measure of relief, I can slowly feel my chest becoming less tense. By the time I look back up, my face is covered in sweat from the experience. I knew it. I knew it was Kenji. Hey, man, are you okay? God damn it, don't do that, you idiot. He retreats back, an expression of unease written on his face. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have barked at him, considering he had no way to know. I gave a sigh and right myself with some difficulty. Sorry, I just have some chest problems. Sharp knocks aren't good. It seems strange to see him so upset. The fact that I can't do anything about it irritates me. Let's get lunch. Okay, it's good to have some company for once. We start off to the serving line. One good thing is that Kenji and I can make small talk nowadays, as opposed to my only interaction with him being anti-feminist lectures. Seems like it'd be hard to find an empty table. There's a few people I wouldn't mind sitting with. Nobody's like you, though. I feel a shiver run through my spine. Clarify that now. They don't listen. Their minds are closed. It's the media, man. The goddamn brainwashing mainstream feminist fascist media. He takes a breath, and I savor the second of silence. Damn, they control everything. Everything but you and me. I relax a little when we grab our food and drink. So, what have you got for me? Huh? Come on, you've been hanging around Satao and that other chick for ages now. Rumors are all over my class and probably some of the others too. Eavesdropping isn't a good habit. He's gonna say it is the best habit in the world. Let me guess, you never do it? Not even when you're bored? Really? Well, fine, point taken. Both of us stopped to have soup ladled into a couple of small bowls and placed onto our trays. The concoction that lands in the bowl looks pretty questionable, but at least it smells reasonably good. As we take our seats at a miraculously free table, I try to think of something that would actually interest him at all. I hope I can come up with an acceptable topic. I found an answer to that question you asked me a couple of weeks back, where Lily's non-Japanese half comes from, that is. Good, man, it's Russia, right? Totally Russia. Scotland. He visibly stopped in his tracks. Scotland. Yeah, that was my reaction too. She can speak English fluently and everything. Damn it! Do you know what this means? How terrifying this news is to me? I think he's hyperventilating. Passing out for a little while would probably make him more relaxed than he normally is. Save. I am gonna humor him. Let's do it. I have no idea what it means. Enlighten me. I just lost 1,000 yen, man. 1,000 yen. Damn, this is the worst day ever. You're kidding me. You made a bet about her nationality? One of the dudes in my class was bugging me about it. I gave him some of my wisdom and he had the audacity to say my logic was wrong. So what did he think? Germany or something. It doesn't matter. What matters is my 1,000 yen. Damn, this day is ruined thanks to her. What a bitch. He looks utterly devastated as he wolfs down several clumps of his soggy soy-soaked rice. That's fun to say. It only takes a few mouthfuls before he pokes his chopsticks at me, stabbing the air repeatedly in revelation. Why? Didn't your mother ever tell you not to speak with your mouth full? He gives me a dirty look before choking down the rest of the food left in his mouth and taking a gulp of juice. It's rather unsightly. Remembering my own food sitting in front of me, I decide to get the task of eating the cafeteria food over and done with as fast as possible. The sooner I do so, the sooner the experience will be over.